Okay.
Right, yeah.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. So today we'll have this great talk about creating autoresponders, and we'll learn more about that. And then, does everyone already know about Pechakucha later today? No? No? You should check out Pechakucha.
What is this?
So it's a chit-chat in Japanese.
Exactly. So there's 20 slides with 20 seconds for each slide. So that's 6 minutes 40, because I'm very good at math, and I didn't just remember that. It'll be at Betelnut today. We have Helene, we have Ellen and Nefena speaking, we have Patricia speaking, we have loads of really cool speakers. It's the women's edition, so I definitely urge you guys to check that out. Definitely come to that.
Yes, it's going to be amazing. Next to Casa Luna.
And this is Create Passive Income with Email Autoresponders. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming. So this is what we're going to talk about today. And should work, right?
It's not working.
Just click on the space bar like that.
Yeah, but it's going to be...
Scroll.
Mercury retrograde is gone already. Why is it still happening?
And so on the computer, what can she do? Space bar or what?
Oh, just right and left. Weird on it as well.
Okay.
Does it work? Right or left? See it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll have to use my
Do you want
finger.
me to do it for you?
It's all right, I'll do it. I'm just going to move it here a little bit. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, my name is Osha, and I've been running my online business since 2012, and I'm a certified nutritionist and health coach, and I'm also a copywriter, and I do some branding consulting for other businesses. So when I first started my business back in 2012, I was doing one-on-one coaching, personal meal plans, and then I launched my first digital program in 2014. And it's my Lovatarian Detox program, which is the 3-week video and PDFs, meal plans program to jump into a healthy lifestyle. And also have another program, which is Lovatarian Way. This is an 8-week program to help women change their habits and live a healthier lifestyle. And I also have 2 ebooks that I sell on my websites and 2 ebooks that I sell on Amazon. So basically having digital products was different. It was really better for me, but I was still not there yet. So it really changed my business, but it was still a struggle at times because I was relying on launches to get my income. And all launches can be very stressful and exhausting. And especially if you're working one-on-one, you also know that you have a ceiling, you have only limited amount of hours in a week and only a limited amount of clients that you can take, so you hit the ceiling in your business. And this is me in 2015 after doing the launch. I don't know if you can see in this picture, but I completely lost fire in my eyes. I was so exhausted. I was working 16 plus hours a day doing the launch and got really, really stressed. And I felt that in order to keep my business going, I had to work extra hard and always create something new because my audience has already seen all my old stuff. So I also felt like I always have to reinvent myself, not to just improve, but stay at where I was. So, and I quit my corporate job back in the day because I got exhausted and I wasn't happy. And as a paradox, I found myself exhausted again in the paradise. And as you can know, if you're working so hard, this is me in Thailand, this beautiful place where I was living, but I was really, really tired and wasn't happy inside. But quitting was not an option because I felt this calling inside that I want to do something meaningful. I want to make a difference in people's life. I didn't want to go back to my corporate job, even if it was comfortable, paying well, but I didn't want to go back to a soulless job. So I had to figure out the way, and I did. And one of the things was automating the business. And this has truly changed my life, and this is exactly why I'm doing this Skillshare today, so I can pass this information to you guys. So I don't need to rely on launches to get my income. And new people who come to my websites, I have 4 websites at the moment, they can be exposed to my best stuff, to free content, paid programs, and also ebooks. And this gives a lot of freedom. So now I have more time to work on new projects and also take some time off. So for example, in 2015, I did 5 Vipassana silent meditation retreats in 1 year. So basically, and yeah, in November, I did 21 days of silence. So basically, I was just meditating. I didn't have any laptop on me or even phone, and I was still making money. So this is probably what a lot of you want as well. Maybe not necessarily meditate, but just go on holiday or maybe to the beach and still have sales. And also last year, my mom got sick with cancer, and I went back. I dropped all my life in Bali and my plans, and I went back and spent 4.5 months with my family. So I pretty much didn't do any work because it was very stressful, but I was still managed to support myself and have some time off. So this is me and my family last year. My mom is actually in remission now. She's doing really well, and I believe that, yeah, she's rocking her hat because she lost her hair after chemo, but she's feeling so much better now. And I believe that me being with my family for those 5 months really helped her to recover. And if I was in a corporate job, I would have to either quit or not go there. So I believe that automating your business really creates a lot of opportunities and gives freedom. And I believe many of us, especially people who live in Bali, we want that. All right, so this is what you learn from this Skillshare. You'll understand the purpose and the benefits of email autoresponders. You'll learn how to use email autoresponders in your business to generate consistent sales on autopilot, and have a clear action plan which you can implement in your business straight away. So it doesn't take years or even months. There'll be some homework that you can do tonight and maybe implement it next week and next couple of weeks and already see the results. But before we start, I just want to say that you don't need a big email list or fancy software to start seeing amazing results from email marketing. You simply need a plan, which you'll be able to create after this presentation.
Oh.
Great. So a few questions for you also before we start. How many of you have an online business, if you could raise your hand? Online business? Pretty much everyone. And building an email list, how many of you? More than a half, great. And who has email lists larger than 1,000 people? And larger than 10,000 people? Okay, cool. And do you have set up autoresponder series in your business? Yes? How many emails? 3. Anyone more than 3 emails? Yeah, how many do you have?
10, up to 10.
Okay, great. And all right, so it's good to know where you guys are at. So it sounds like I'm in the right audience, so really good. So now we can start. So why should you even care about autoresponders? Basically, if you implement autoresponders in your business, you'll build the authority and trust, build engagement with your audience, drive interest to your offers, make an impact in people's life, and basically be a superstar. So what are email autoresponders? So basically it's a sequence of email marketing messages that get sent to your subscribers in an order and frequency that you decide. And let's say you have an amazing 7-part email series that delivers great tutorial for your potential customers, which provides amazing value and also lays the groundwork for you to make a sale. So that autoresponder creates a great experience for your first subscriber, and also it creates the same great experience for your 100,000 subscriber. So it never gets tired, it never needs a weekend off, or Father's Day or Mother's Day or email autoresponders day if that exists, and never gets sick of newbies, and it delivers your best content in the best possible order and frequency to every new reader who finds you forever. And if you want to take some time off, whether to go to the beach or go for a life-changing adventure and go and spend time with your family, your autoresponder is back home taking care of your business. So as you can see, it's got your back. And sometimes it's great when you wake up in the morning, you check your phone and you see that you made sales while you were sleeping. So it creates, again, freedom, and I believe a lot of you want this. So here are some stats to show the effectiveness of email autoresponders. So leads that go through a lead generation funnel using email autoresponders will spend 47% more, as found by a Forrester Research Group. And companies using email marketing automation see 53% higher conversion rates from initial response to marketing qualified leads, and a revenue growth rate that is 3.1% higher. And email marketing yields an average of 4,300% ROI for businesses in the United States. So this is some numbers. This is a little bit boring, but just want to show you that this is not something I created. This is not something that just works for my business, but this is what the biggest players in the industry use, starting with corporations and media companies and also those digital marketing gurus. So this stuff really works. So are you convinced?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, we can dive into the content. So there are two types of autoresponders, simple autoresponders and behavior-based autoresponders. So simple autoresponders are simple, as the name implies. So basically, if someone subscribes, they get automatically put into a sequence of emails. So basically, the subscription triggers the email sequence. And behavior-based autoresponders can be a little bit or really, really complex, depending on where you are with your business. So for example, if someone clicked on that particular link, they would be redirected to a different email list and get different email sequence. Or if they opened the email but didn't click, then they get another emails. But it gets a little bit complicated, and of course we have only 1 hour, so we won't be able to go into this. So we'll stick with simple autoresponders. So for the next 50 minutes or so, I want you to think and remember the cat, or to be more precise, iCat. And if you're thinking, what the hell is she talking about? What does autoresponder have to do with cat? Basically, this is just an acronym that I created to help you remember the purpose of simple email autoresponders. So here are 4 purposes of simple email autoresponders. ICAT, that's what it stands for. So first, indoctrinate, then convert, ascend, and teach. And we'll cover each of them one by one. So we'll start with indoctrination. So basically, the purpose of indoctrination series is to teach your new prospect about you and your organization. And your new prospect will only receive the indoctrination series once, even if you have multiple funnels and multiple freebies. And if they subscribe after 2 months again to some of your other stuff that you're offering, they won't get it again. So they just get it once they first subscribe. And it will be covered in 5 to 7 email series. So here are the most frequently asked questions when it comes to indoctrination series. So it's how long should the emails be, how often should you mail them, and what should you write? So we'll cover each of them one by one. So how long should these emails be? So there's a saying that copy can never be too long, it can only be too boring. And so you have to add personal stories and give value like tips and resources. And the length of your emails really depends on your style, the type of your business, and your audience. So for example, if you're a blogger and your audience is used to long blog posts, then you could write longer email autoresponders. Or if you are, let's say, a YouTuber and your audience is used to more video, so maybe an email could be shorter and you add a link to the video where they can watch you. So these emails should be as long as it takes to cover what you need to address, but make it as short as possible. So if you want to tell the story to make your point, you don't have to tell what you were wearing that day or what you had for breakfast or how your cat was behaving that day. And I normally use 500 to 2,000 words per email, like an average article. This is just something that works for me. So is it pretty clear how long should the emails be? Did I answer the question? Yeah? Awesome. So the next one is how often should you mail them? So every day or even twice a day in the beginning. And I know some people freak out a little bit. Ooh, that's too much. Yeah, exactly. That people think that's annoying. But think about it. If you find someone, you're looking for some sort of information, you find someone you just discovered, a new guru or someone who has a solution for you, you're really excited. And in the beginning, you want to be exposed to all the stuff. You want to read the articles, you want to get to know them. So that's when people are really excited. And this is the time to actually send more of those emails. And I send even twice a day in the first couple of days, but I tell them in the first email, I tell, you'll hear from me once or even twice a day in the beginning. Don't freak out. So I warn them what to expect. And also, after a while, then you send every 3 to 5 days in the first couple of months, and once a week later, because as I said, this excitement wears off. And people are scared to upset or annoy their subscribers if they email too often. This is what we just covered. But you have to ask yourself, why did my subscribers join in the first place?
Well, sometimes you have to, because there's something free, and that really bugs me, and then you have to subscribe, which annoys me.
But that's the point. You want that freebie. You want that sort of information. So,
Yeah,
for
but
example,
some people, that's one thing that annoys me. Some people, you want something, and you have the choice, subscribe or not, and I don't always. Because often I subscribe, then I desubscribe, because I just want that video, and then that's it.
okay, so maybe that's what we cover in the next slide. Maybe the content is not that good.
Just one thing, the video, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted.
Yeah, but if the video is really good, maybe you want to watch another video.
That's okay.
But there's always, like, if there's people like that, there's always an option to unsubscribe. Even in the first email, and at the top and at the bottom, I have an unsubscribe option. Yes?
Do you get a high unsubscribe rate?
No, really low, especially at the start. It's really, really low. Yeah. And so, yeah, you have to ask, what's the point of having email subscribers who are left in the peace without being annoyed? So, for example, if I'm offering someone something to my audience, even for free or paid, and if there's someone like Grace who just wants that video, maybe I don't want her on the list, and she doesn't want to be on the list. So that's a mutual agreement. So it's great. Like, people who don't want to be exposed to my information, they won't stay on the list, and that's completely perfect. And if you think that you're annoying, it means that maybe your content is not valuable enough. So upgrade your content. So for me, it's actually a really great way to check in with myself and to see whether I'm really providing value or not. And if you're providing great content, your readers should be thankful that they're receiving it, and that's why they subscribed in the first place. And it's great if people unsubscribe, because you don't want people on your list who are not interested in you or what you have to offer. So is that clear how often we should send the emails? Cool. So we can move to the next question, which is the biggest question. What actually should you write? So you need to indoctrinate them who you are, what do you stand for, why are you different from other people in the industry, what they should expect from you, how often, and what they should do next. So if you want to take notes, and I can share the slides later as well if you want to. Yeah. Great. So content distribution is key here. That's why we're going to use the soap opera series or SOS principle. Has anyone heard about SOS principle? Yeah, a few people. Are you using it in your autoresponders? Not really. So maybe, okay. So maybe it's time to start using it. So I've learned it from the course Autoresponder Madness by Andrew Chapron, and I really recommend this course, especially if you want to become better at email writing or copywriting in general. So you might be thinking, what does soap opera series have to do with autoresponders? Well, a lot, because instead of looking at separate emails as individual events, look at them as a series. So think of it as a season of the show which has an overarching theme. So for example, you have 7 email series and you talk about the same topic and even share the same storyline. So you can start your story in email 1 and finish at email 7. So, and even in the subject line, you could have your subject and then brackets email 1 of 7, email 2 of 7, email 3 of 7. So people know that these emails are connected and they can look forward to the next one. And it keeps the reader engaged and in suspense. And in order to achieve that suspense and make sure that they open your next email, you have to use the hooks. So we'll talk about the hooks a lot in the next few slides. So has anyone not ever seen a single episode of soap opera series? No? You've never seen anything? So I don't know, everyone else is guilty of that. Okay. So basically this is kind of a classic scene where there's a wedding ceremony and the people are about to get married and say yes, and the woman runs into the church and says, "Stop, Deborah, you can't marry him." And everyone looks at her and look at this woman's eyes and like, "Oh, what's happening?" And even it's so dumb, but you just have to find out the answer. So why? Tell me why. And then the guy says, "You'll find out in the next episode." And this is exactly what we do in these emails with SOS hooks. So these hooks are questions on finished pieces of information that you promise to answer or fulfill in the next email. And in every single email, you should leave at least 1 or 2 hooks. And this is extremely effective as the human mind is wired to close these information loops. So let's look at an example. So this is the first email of my indoctrination series. So I say, "Hey, welcome to my world. Real glad you're here. My name is Ausha Ki. I'm a nutritionist and holistic coach, and most importantly, I'm the girl who's going to guide you on your journey to a slimmer body, more confidence, and basically becoming the best version of you. So stick with me." So even if indoctrination series are about you or me in this instance, it's not just about me. It's actually how my story and how what I've learned can help them and benefit their journey. And then I say, yeah, before I start, I have a question for you. So this is where I drop the first hook. Question: what does it take to achieve and maintain an ideal body? So then I explain what I actually mean, and then I say, think about the answer. I doubt you ever get close, but give it a shot anyway. Type your answer, hit reply, and let me know. I won't reply personally, but I do read every email. And I'll give you the answer later. So I drop the first hook. And this is also something really important to mention here, that I encourage them to reply to my email. This is really important for email deliverability, because the bigger your email list, the harder it is actually to get on the primary inbox, because the Google, Gmail and Yahoo algorithms recognize it as a like bulk email and puts it into junk, promotion, and other things. And we'll cover this a little bit in the later slides as well. So then I talk about my story, how I overcame my problems, and this is also an important part, the battle for your inbox attention. So I say you get a lot of emails, no doubt about it. Some of them get your attention, but most don't. I need your attention. I need you to commit to me and your journey to the best version of you. You've given me your email address for a reason. Allow me to give you back 100 times that in value minimum. But in order to deliver this massive value to you, I need to play your part. So, and then I tell them to create a separate folder in their email, because this also helps with deliverability. If they drag it to a special folder, Gmail knows that they want to engage with your content. And then I also give them really clear instructions. Each time you receive an email from me, read it. If there's a task for you to do it, then archive the email in your special folder. And then I also encourage them to whitelist my email address. So in my website, I have different pages for each email provider with different instructions that are specific, for example, for Gmail users, Yahoo users, and so on. And a lot of people actually do this. And then again, in the end, I say, I will continue to confirm you received the email. Please hit reply and just give me a heads up saying got it. And a lot of people do this. And as I said, it helps with email deliverability. And in the PS, I say, don't forget to think about my question. What does it take to achieve and maintain an ideal body? If you haven't already replied, please write your answer, hit reply, and let me know. I'm actually curious. If you ever get close, I'll let you know the answer later. And in the second email, I say, hey, Osha here again. Welcome back. Have you ever been lied to? It's the worst feeling on earth. And then I talk about all the nonsense that's happening in the weight loss and health industry, about the dodgy companies selling tapeworms, which is actually the case as a weight loss strategy, and all other fat diets and pills and all these ridiculous things. And I tell also how I did my fat dieting and all this crazy stuff. So I'm confessing and being really vulnerable and honest with them. And then I say 4 things that I will never do. So this is a great way to say what you stand for by saying what you stand against. And I know this will repel some people, but that's great. This is actually what I want in the beginning. So if someone's looking for a short fat diet to just lose 5 pounds in a week or in a few days with like high protein, no carb diet, this is really bad for long-term health, and I actually want to help these people to have long-term health, so they will unsubscribe, and that's perfect because I'm not the kind of person who can help them. And then I talk about the biggest scam in the industry. It's eat less and exercise more. In theory, it makes sense. And So I know it's a little bit controversial, a lot controversial, and I say, whoa, Osha, but isn't it scientific? Well, I'll have to tell you about it in my next email, so keep an eye on your inbox tomorrow. Oh snap, I also ran out of room to tell you the answer to the question I asked yesterday. Question: what does it take to achieve and maintain an ideal body? Can you wait till tomorrow for the answer? Well, you have to. I have to go have a snack now. Writing makes me hungry. And then in the PS, I say, okay, I know it's impossible to run out of room in the email. I'm just having a little fun with you. And if you're wondering what I had for snack, it was apples. So basically just giving this little information, pieces of information about you, makes you human. People think that they kind of know you, and then they know you, they can trust you. So this is, I already put the 2 hooks in the email 1 and 2. And in the 3rd email, I actually answer these 2 hooks. So why using SOS is great for your readers? Well, it makes them engage and read the information that will help solve their problems and make their lives better. And it entertains them, and most people are bored to death. And I get a lot of answers to these emails, and people are really enjoying them and finding a lot of value, and they think some of them are funny. So how do you actually write it? How do you create all these hooks? So first you need to know who is your audience and who are you writing to. So you need to know your ideal customer avatar. So is everyone familiar? Who's familiar with ideal customer avatar concept? Okay, so before you start any marketing, you have to know this. You have to know who you're talking to, because you may have the best email series or the best article, but if you're not talking to that specific person who's your ideal client, you might be missing out. And you also have to tell them who are you and how you can help them. What stories are you going to tell in the indoctrination series? And what are you going to teach them? Because you also need to provide some value and practical steps. It's not just about me or just promises what you'll do in the future. You also have to give some actionable steps. And here's an exercise, not for now, but when you come back home. So take a piece of paper and divide it into 8 parts. Create a sketch including the main story points and your hooks. So make sure you close all the loops. That's why you need that map, to make sure that if you open one loop in email 1, you close it in email 2 or 3, so you don't leave these email loops, like these hooks, and unsolved, and because that will annoy people. And if you have too many, like, it will get too confusing. That's why I say 1 or 2 per email is maximum. And so you can use your sketch later to flesh out your email autoresponders. So I took this picture. This is something I wrote for someone else. So basically this is how I use it. Email 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here I just have I brainstormed some stories that I could use. And basically I would put hook 1 and then I answer in hook 3. So this map helps me to actually plan everything. And some people might want to use some digital apps. I'm really old-fashioned. I like handwriting everything, but whatever works for you. So is it clear what you should write in the indoctrination series? Yeah? Cool. So we can move next. So once you've indoctrinated your prospect, it's time to convert them. So conversion series, and the purpose is to convert your prospects into customers, make offers to buy your products or services. So here are the most frequently asked questions when it comes to conversion series. So what offers should you make? When should you send them? And what should you write? So first, what offers should you make? Start with low ticket offers, something like $7 or $10 or $14 up to $20, depending on the industry. But usually it's $7 ebook or $7 report. And selling a very expensive product or service once they've just discovered you is like asking a girl to get married on the first date. First, you need to take her for coffee or for dinner. And if you just ask to marry once they just met, she might not be impressed. And so what offer should you make? So is everyone familiar with this concept? Freebie, tripwire, mid-core, premium? Okay, great. So freebie is something like your lead magnet, something that you, ethical bribe that you give to people in order to get them to subscribe to your list. And then tripwire is this low-ticket product like $7 or $10, an ebook or free video, or not free, but paid video training course, or something that's where price is not an obstacle for them to buy. Even if they buy it for $10 and it's really bad, they don't feel really disappointed because it's just $10. And then your mid-core offer, which is usually $50 to $200, depending on the industry again. And premium is something like one-on-one coaching or really your flagship programs. Something could be $500, $1,000, $200, $2,000, $5,000, and even more depending on your industry. So for example, in weight loss industry, $200 is already kind of a premium, because usually the products are $19 or $49. But for example, in law or financial, could be like $1,000, could be even be mid-core. And the tests by digital marketers show that people who buy a low-ticket product, which is $7 or $10 product, also known as tripwire, will be 53% more likely to buy your more expensive products. And has anyone have an idea why this works this way? Yeah, exactly. Because they trusted you with their credit card details, and if you provided great value, if they didn't disappoint you, then it will be so much easier to make that more expensive sale. So is it clear what offer should you make on conversion series? Low ticket products, not a brainer. Okay, so when should you send the offers? Again, in the first couple of days. They are more excited about you and your brand and more likely to buy when they've just subscribed rather than months or weeks later. And we're going to send 3 emails per each offer, the rhythm of 3, which I'm going to talk in the next few slides. And then the last question is, what should you actually write in the conversion series? So the conversion emails are usually shorter than the indoctrination series. They are focused on the call to action, and the main goal is to get them to click through to your sales page. So that's the main goal. You don't want to tell your stories, you just want them to click and go to your sales page, and then sales page or sales video can be long.
And just ask, you said
Yes.
3 emails per offer. Is that because it's statistically something they see?
Yes, it's a rhythm of 3, which we're going to cover in the next few slides, so good
And
thinking.
why is it? Because it's something that they've seen that really works?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been tested and it works, so we'll cover that soon.
Another question.
Yes.
Do you do this chronologically? Like first you would send the 5 to 7.
It goes parallel, and at the end we're going to show how everything comes together, and I'll show the schedule how I send the email, so it'll be a lot clearer.
So you would send an offer email while you're still doing the indoctrination
Yes,
series?
yes, exactly, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the rhythm of 3. Grace, you're looking one step forward, which is great. So basically each email, those 3 emails, will be focused on different things. So first email will be focused on gain. So it's for people who almost bought before but were interrupted, distracted, and not fully convinced. And the second one is logic, for people who need to justify the purchase and need more convincing, especially for left-brainers. And last one is fear, for people who respond best if they're driven by scarcity or try to avoid pain. And it's been tested by a digital marketer, and this sequence really, really works. So let's look at an example. So this is the email 2 of my conversion series. So the subject line says, did Channing Tatum call you? And open rates are really high because everyone's like, oh, what? So call me crazy, but I'm a little surprised you still haven't checked out my ebook on motivation. I know sometimes life gets in the way. For example, you got a phone call from Channing Tatum asking you out. Your cat jumped on the keyboard and clicked away the previous email. Or maybe you just got hungry and decided to get snacked before reading my previous message. I get it. No need to worry. You can still grab my ebook, and there's a link. And also here I tell about, because it's focused on the logic, I give a study. So a recent meta-analysis study in the Journal of American Medical Association, also provide link to show credibility, looked at different plans to slim down and found significant difference between the success of one program against another. So basically they just found out no matter what you do, the motivation is the key to actually achieve the results. So I show them motivation is really key, and I have a 6-step proven strategy to get to motivation, and here's, you can learn more and buy it. So this is a lot shorter than my indoctrination series that are long, and it's focused on the call to action. And the third email is even shorter. It's just like really, really quick testimonial call to action. So is it clear what we should write? So basically just a recap for conversion series. It's 3 emails per offer, gain, logic, fear for each offer, and be confident about what you're selling because you're helping them solve their problems and even changing their lives. So a lot of people get a little bit, especially when they start, like not comfortable with selling, but this is why I started your business. And if you have amazing information, you want to share it in free content as well as paid. So once you converted your prospects into paying customers, it's time to ascend them. So Ascension series, this is where the big money is made, because obviously you can't make a lot of, well, you can if you have huge traffic, but for $7 product, you don't make that much money as with the Ascension series or your mid-core offers. So you ascend them from the low-ticket buyer to mid-core buyer. So every buyer who you acquire through a conversion email series, remember, $7 to $10 product, should receive an Ascension series. So use it to sell your mid-core offer, as I said, so something like $50 to $200. And if they bought your low-ticket product, also known as tripwire, they are 53% more likely to buy your more expensive product, which we covered before because they already trust you. Yes? Yes.
How do you know who bought your product? Because if you don't have everything on your website and maybe you sell courses on a platform or an ebook on Amazon, how do you actually go to
So this is Amazon. All my websites, they are connected. Like I use, even though there's different websites, but I use one email provider. So everything like the emails are connected. And on Amazon, if they buy it, I obviously won't have access because only Amazon have this access. But even in my Amazon ebooks, I have places where I encourage them to go onto my website. There's a special freebie only for these Amazon ebooks. So then they subscribe to get that freebie, and then they get put into indoctrination series and everything.
This is how you keep track of
Yes,
the
yes. Yeah. Okay, and we're gonna also, for the Ascension series, use the rhythm of 3, gain, logic, and fear. So these emails are very, very similar to conversion series. They're just for more expensive product. So for example, this is an email 3 for my Love It Way, which is my mid-core offer. And this is very short. So I say for the last few days, I've been telling you about a special opportunity as an ebook owner to join my Love It 10 Way online program. And then I give a testimonial and just quickly say that this is the last time I'm going to send you this offer, and call to action, and that's it. So a lot shorter than the indoctrination series again. And in case you are wondering what happens to the people who don't buy my tripwire, because obviously not everyone who comes to my list buys that ebook, I also send similar emails to people who didn't buy the ebook, but with just slightly different copy and different price. So I give them the regular price, which is $97, instead of for ebook owners only offer, which is $79. So I give 20% discount for people as an incentive who bought my ebook. And it's very similar to conversion series, as I said, and selling mid-core product to the people who bought your low-ticket product. And you give an incentive, like a 20% discount. And you can also include the Ascension offer at the end of your Tripwire ebook. So for example, in my motivation ebook, at the very end, there's a section where I talk about my Love It Here and Way program. And there's also a direct link where they can press on the PDF and go and get this offer.
Excuse me, Asha.
Yes.
If you say if they didn't buy, then you offer them a discount to
No.
No?
No.
The other way around, if they've
Yes.
already bought.
Yes. So they feel a little bit special because they got this ebook for $7. Now they get this special discount, which is about $20. Yeah. And if they didn't buy, I still, because some people are not interested in an ebook, maybe they didn't see it, but maybe they want to buy my course. So they don't want to miss on that opportunity, so I would just send with a regular price. And the last one is teach. So teaching or content series. The purpose is to provide value, nurture your list, build long-term relationship. Because you have to ask yourself, why are you doing your business and what's your bigger why? Because a lot of people here in the booth doing it because they believe in it, they want to do something meaningful. And this is a great way to help people solve the problems. And teaching content autoresponder series is an opportunity to make an impact. And for example, my goal is to help as much people as possible, whether they buy from me or not. That's why I provide a lot of value in my emails, in my articles, and also in my free video training series. And some people have told that I give more value in the free videos than in some paid programs, and I'm happy about it. And if someone buys, that's awesome. If someone doesn't buy, that's great too. And some people who joined my list in 2012, they buy after like 4 years. I've been following your emails and I find great value, and it takes time sometimes to really build that trust. So always be generous with your knowledge and time, and don't hold back. So currently I have nutrition series where I teach about the basics of healthy lifestyle. I give valuable information and practical tools. And mindset series when I teach the concepts, how their beliefs and habits are affecting their health, and the tools for transformation. And this includes soft selling, so it's not promotional emails, but if I'm talking about something, let's say motivation in one of those emails, I could say, by the way, if you haven't grabbed my ebook on motivation, here's a link, and if you already have, well done, something like that. So it's kind of soft selling. And this is an example of my first email of nutrition series. And also another tip is to be really personal and don't put a lot of fluff. So don't start, hey, how are you? I just like remove this because people are already busy, they don't want to read it. So I jump into stories straight away. So for example, here, when I was a teenager, I spent half of my pocket money on cosmetics and the other half on cigarettes, I know, and tanning beds. My parents obviously had no idea. They thought their daughter spent her money on sensible food. I know this sounds like a stupid, soulless, arrogant, ignorant teenager, but that's just the surface. And then I tell about all my struggles and so on. So I'm really vulnerable and personal with them. I also try to put some jokes to make it more entertaining. And also, again, I say email 1 of 5, so we know that these emails, 5 emails, are connected, and it's kind of one storyline. And they, let's say here I said, like, what are the most effective nutrition strategies, and I started with 2, and you find out another 2 in the next emails or something like that. So they know that there's something to look forward to. And also tell my before picture that at 22 I had lots of wrinkles and really bad acne. I was really stressed out and unhealthy, and I would give my before pictures, and I say, although happiness is an inside job, there are a lot of things I do for my body that make me feel good, and I promise that I'm going to share these nutrition practices with them in the next emails. So if someone even didn't buy in the first couple of weeks, I still want to provide them value because to build long-term relationship. So it's a long-term investment in a relationship, and you have to focus on giving, be in an abundant mindset. And yeah, that's pretty much it about teaching series. So let's recap quickly the 4 purposes of simple autoresponders. So it's indoctrinate, get them to know you and your company, then convert, engage and convert prospects into actual buyers, then ascend, convert buyers into loyal buyers and make money, and teach, so provide value and build long-term relationship. So you may be wondering, how does it all come together? And you already asked the question, when do you actually send it? So we'll cover that now. And before you set up autoresponders, you have to have a funnel which captures leads on your website. So you have an email list. I know about 70% people in this room already have it. And if you don't, basically, even if you have autoresponders, you don't have to send it to us. So that makes sense, right? You have to have an email list. And then you have to have something to sell. So your product or an affiliate product if you don't have yours yet, but I really encourage you at least to write $7 ebook. Like if you're really an expert in your industry, it doesn't take a lot of time. You just have to have a lot of focus. So maybe spend 1 week just really focusing on writing that ebook. And it doesn't have to be really long. It just has to be really, really great value.
How many pages on average do you have to do your ebooks?
I think my ebook is about 70, 80 pages. But it's like, it's kind of dense. It's like a book. It's not, huge font. So any other questions? No? Great. And then you have to create your autoresponder plan. So this is the plan. So this is a 3-step plan for your autoresponders, which you can do when you come back home today or this afternoon or next couple of days. So first, write indoctrination series. So these 5 to 7 emails about you and your story, how you started your business, what you actually learned, the struggles that you went through that actually made you learn the lessons, and how you can now share this knowledge with them. Then the second step is conversion series. So again, 3 emails per offer, gain logic, fear. And as I said, I encourage you to have your tripwire or some other product if you don't have it yet. Or if you don't have it and you really don't have time, you can start even selling affiliate offers just to do some testing. And you can go on clickbank.com, register here, see what are the most popular offers in your industry, and test that product as well to make sure that you're selling good stuff. And if you like it, you can sell it using the same principle. So it doesn't have to be just your products. And check your email provider, what are the options, and implement it. So is this plan pretty clear? Indoctrination series, conversion series, and check your email provider. So this is kind of simple. It's not necessarily really easy, but if you're an expert in your industry, you just need to focus and set the time to do this. And again, I just wanted to show you again to remind you how I write it. So take a piece of paper, divide it into 8 parts and map it out, and then create your email autoresponders using this plan. And also put everything in Excel spreadsheet. So this is how it all comes together. So day 0 is when they actually subscribe. So here in the second column you see indoctrination series, and auto is like automated email, which is a welcome email and having a link to the gift that they already required. And the reason why I don't include it in the indoctrination email 1, because I have different funnels and different freebies. So, and I want to keep indoctrination series kind of generic. So even people, if they find me through Amazon or the articles that I write in Mind Body Green or whatever, it applies. Indoctrination series applies wherever they found me. They can still get it. So that's why it's different. And then the conversion series. So as you can see on day 1, so not on the day when they subscribe, but the next day they get an ebook promo 1, which is here, gain logic, fear. And then if they buy my ebook, they get automatically redirected into Ascension series, which is the last column. And here, LW stands for Lovetarian Way, which is my mid-core offer. So as I said before, as I mentioned in the conversion series, even if someone doesn't buy my ebook, they still get promotions for the mid-core offer. Is that pretty clear? Does it make
It shows
yes?
a journey of 1 person.
Yes.
So it's like on day 2, that's 2 emails.
Yes.
You never go above 2 emails a day.
Yes.
Right, for your series.
Yes. So and that's why I give them a little bit space, just to kind of maybe there was a day off, so they didn't have time to check the emails. So so there's a day off, and then they get almost every day, and then there's a day off on day 9 as well. And then later, I have the email autoresponders for over 60 days right now. The plan is to have it for a couple of years, but it also takes time to write something really valuable. So it's not perfect yet. It's always in progress. but this is what I have now. And don't freak out, this is just the bigger picture. You don't have to see the numbers. I just want to show you that you have to keep track of everything, because otherwise you'll get lost. Especially the more offers you have, the more email like campaigns you have, it might get a little bit confusing, especially if you want to change something in the future. If you don't keep track of it, you'll get really confused. Have an Excel spreadsheet where you actually register everything. So right now you just need to focus on this, especially if you haven't started. Yeah. So does that make sense? Is it clear? Great. So once again, this is your 3-step plan: write indoctrination series, conversion series, and check your email provider, which is I'm going to cover quickly now. So almost all email providers offer the autoresponder feature: MailChimp, iContact, Aweber, ActiveCampaign, and others. And they're okay if you have small lists, but gets really expensive once your list gets bigger. So if you have 15,000 lists, you could be paying $300, $400 a month. And Infusionsoft is the most sophisticated, but it costs $200 to $1,000 per month, depending on the size of your email list and on the features. And Sendy has all the options as Infusionsoft, and it's only $59 to get a one-off license, no monthly fees, and then you just pay $1 per 10,000 emails you send. This is actually what we use. It's a little bit complicated. You need an expert in order to set it up, but once you set it up, it's really, really cheap. So you pay like less than $20. So even if you have small list, so maybe even like $2 a month, which is really great.
And to have this expert set it up, it costs like what?
I don't know, I have my own expert, you know, probably. So I'm not sure. Like if you're really technical, you can do some research. If you're IT guy, you could set it up yourself. But yeah, and the reason why it's really good, because it uses Amazon server, and it's really, really, really high, good quality. For example, if you're using MailChimp, you're sharing that like IP address with other people. So if they're sending crap, it might affect your deliverability. So your emails go straight to junk. Whether with Amazon, you have to apply, and you have they're really, really careful. They don't take any spammers. So you have to. So it's like the highest reputation. That's why it's really good, not just because it's cheap.
And after MailChimp, which is the good one?
iContact, Aweber, and also had ActiveCampaign is pretty good. A lot of people are using it with autoresponders, but we haven't tried it. When I started, before like I reached 2,000, I used MailChimp because that's free up to 2,000 people. But yeah, later I jumped to Sendy.
Is it easy to transfer from MailChimp to upgrade?
Yes, you export your email to Excel spreadsheet, and then you can import it. Yeah.
Even if you have like targeted them or like put them into tags, or doesn't that work with MailChimp?
Yes, so it will be different lists. So for example, because if you have autoresponders, so I believe there will be different lists. I don't do it myself, I just kind of know it, but yeah, I'm sure it shouldn't be a problem. So before we go into final word, just want to ask you a question. So what does ICAT stand for? Does anyone know the answer? Yes?
Connect, convert, send, teach.
Yes, awesome. And what are the three steps for your homework?
Write your indoctrinate, write your conversion, and have a product.
Yeah, and last one?
Oh yeah. Check
Yes, awesome, great. So here are the final tips. So you tell your real life stories, this is how people actually connect to you, and that's why they trust you. And show your personality, and don't be afraid to repel people. People who don't resonate with you will not buy your stuff and learn from you anyway, so the sooner you repel, the better. And encourage people to whitelist your email address. This is really, really vital, because again, the bigger your list gets, the harder it is to get into the primary inbox, and once they whitelist it, it would go straight into your primary inbox to make sure it doesn't go to junk mail or promotions. And check your spam filters. For example, spamcop.net is a great free service. So for example, I talk a lot about weight loss and health, but I can't use words weight loss, because if you use weight loss in your copy, it goes straight to junk mail. So you have to be really creative and avoid words like weight loss and fat to actually deliver my message. So it's an extra challenge, but I believe it's great tool to become a better copywriter. Yes?
I have a question about the show
Yeah.
your personality. So I'm a small team.
Yes.
Is it important in the series to keep a voice? Or could it be like different people popping in through the series telling different parts?
I think
of the
maybe
story?
for one series could be one person.
Yeah.
could be like the owner, and then later in the emails could be different people. And I've seen this in Digital Marketer. I don't know if you know them. So it's like a big company. So the creator is Ryan Dice. So he sends most of the emails, but now I've also received some offers from his team as well.
So would it be better than to start with like the top person?
Yes, depends on your business. So what do you actually, what are your products or services? Bags.
So my husband started the company, and then it's me and the marketing girl, and then there's other people throughout there, but it's really the team of us three. But the marketing, it would be me and her writing most of the content out of his stories. So could we use his voice as the most, like, you get in touch with like the guy, right?
It sounds like at this point there's a lot of variables, but it sounds like you could be the voice, help, like you could, like the marketing girl could help you write it, so you could tell from your perspective how your husband started, because how you've seen it, and it could be even parts of, okay, he's taking over now, and then he could be like maybe in italics, you know, his story, his kind of version, and that's also I find it's kind of entertaining, you know, when people,
Cool.
yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. Right.
Cool. And final word, so if you're not using autoresponders in your business, you're missing out on an opportunity to engage your audience, provide more value, and make an impact. And you're also leaving a lot of money on the table, because when I first started back in 2012, I didn't have autoresponders, and some of my articles went viral, so we had a lot of traffic, but didn't have autoresponders, or didn't even have products. So I lost a lot of opportunities to actually convert them, not just to convert it into sales and money, but also to engage them and to make them loyal subscribers. Yes. And when you set it up, you can rest assured that even when you take a break, whether you want to for night's sleep, or you want to go to the beach, or 3-week vacation, or go visit your family, Autoresponder is taking care of your business. So you get freedom and more money. And I believe that's what many of us want. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Thank you very much.
And let's stay connected. So that's my Facebook, Instagram, and my email if you want to email me. And this is also my website, one of my main websites, where you can subscribe and actually get those emails if you want to see what I actually tell. Do you have any questions? We still have 7 minutes for questions.
Sorry.
Problem. Yeah, nice seeing you. Yes.
So wouldn't I have to have a mid-range product as well before I start the series? Because if I start the tripwire, and then I want to get them into buying the mid-core stuff, wouldn't I have to create that product first? Anyway?
Good question. Ideally, yes. However, I would still encourage you to have at least indoctrination. Even if you don't have tripwire, at least start with indoctrination series, because you might be getting traffic and people come to your website, and even if you indoctrinate them for the first couple of weeks, and even if you don't sell something, they will remember you because you'll provide great value and stories. And if you don't, they just get the freebie and that's it, and you leave them alone for 6 months, and you start sending stuff after 6 months or 1 year, 2 years, they will forget you and they'll think that's a spam, or why is this person sending something to me? So yeah, start like, even if you don't have tripwire, maybe just start with indoctrination series. Then have your tripwire. Yes.
That has to happen.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have a freebie at the moment?
No. That's what I'm asking.
But do you have a website?
No.
Okay, so first of all, obviously, like you have to have a website which captures leads, and you need a freebie to do that. And it doesn't have to be fancy or long. It could be just a checklist, or depending on your audience. Or maybe if you're better on video than writing, maybe it could be just a free video where you provide great content. And yes?
I'm just curious how you built your email list. Did you build it from the blog? Just people reading your blog, and that's how you built it?
Yeah, mostly from guest blogging. I don't focus on my own blog, because I used to do that, and then you look at the stats and you see you could get thousands of people from guest blog and maybe like 20 people on your own blog. So I focus my attention, because like ideally I would want to build my own content, but my blog is kind of like not really existent at the moment. So I just did it Mind Body Green, Elephant Journal, Young and Raw, other like blogs.
Redirect them to
Yes, always after article.
capture those.
Yes, so after an article there's author's bio, so it's like a few sentences about you and a link to your website. So this has been my biggest traffic source, I would say maybe 70–80%. And then I used to do YouTube videos. Now I just do it once in a while, but don't focus on it. and what else? And some, social media as well. Instagram has been growing now.
How
So.
do you do Instagram to direct traffic? Do you have like a nice picture, obviously, and then some descriptive, some text?
Yes. Usually I don't put link in the text. It's just in my bio. So I post beautiful food pictures. You can have a look on Instagram also. Key. And I just put food pictures, and I didn't think that was really effective, but recently a lot of like clients said, oh, actually found you through Instagram. So it shows like I've been getting a lot of signs that Instagram has been really working, so my plan is to focus, and I've been actually focusing more on it for the last few months.
Not advertising on social media at all?
No, when we did the launch, we did some advertising. I can't say I'm an expert in that, so like it hasn't worked that well. So I'm not saying Facebook ads don't work, I'm just saying we haven't figured out the way. So yeah, this is something to look into in the future. But mostly guest blogging and social media.
That link you were just talking about, is it the link to your landing page where you collect emails, or to your blog or website?
To
you have guest blogging.
To my main website, which is becomethebestofyou.com, and the homepage of this website is purely focused on getting them to subscribe.
Oh.
So it's all about the ebook. It's just subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
So it's kind of 2-in-1.
Yes, yes, yes.
How do you find the best way to go about getting the guest blogging? Because with My Buddy Green, you have to submit an article, and you wait 2 weeks to see
Yeah.
if they're going to accept your article. So it kind of feels like a waste of time if you don't pitch them and have accepted topics.
Yeah.
So how do you get connected mostly with the guest?
So I started writing for them in 2013. And a lot of things have changed during the last 4 years, and now it's harder. Now I have an assigned editor, but even now it's like harder to get onto them. Like in the past, they would accept every article I used to write. So now it's a little bit harder. So you have to try and just have to focus on writing something really, really valuable, amazing content that they couldn't ignore. So, and look, do you read the Mind Body Green yourself? So look at their style. So look at kind of the trends that they're getting, like look at the most popular posts for this month to get an idea of what's really working for them, what's not.
What about other publications or online editorials? Do you have connections or reach out to people?
Usually I didn't have connections. I would just like kind of cold call, just send my article, and so I still write for Young and Raw, Elephant Journal. So you basically just find the link, submit, and that's it. Yeah. I also tried for Huffington Post. It hasn't worked yet. I just submitted one article. So it's like you have to try maybe 5-10 times, and once you get a signed editor, it gets easier. Yeah.
My delivery rate, my open rates are around 15 to 22%, and I don't know what my delivery rates are. They're probably not 100%. So which one have you found has the best delivery rates for the providers?
Amazon, like Sandy, definitely has the best. And there's a service. Sandy, that's.
Sandy. Oh.
Yes, Sandy, that's the one that we use. However, there's one service which is paid, but you can get like month free trial where you can actually see how many emails get delivered, because that's how we test it. What's the name of that service, Pavlos?
I have to get back on that.
So you can email me and ask me this question, and I'll get back to you. We'll have to check, because it's great. Like you just upload your email and it gets sent.
It will also show, is it in your promotion tab?
Yes.
Or your own tab or junk tab?
That was a huge eye opener when we did it.
$500 a month, but I think it's free for the first 16 days.
Wait, $500 a month?
Yeah.
But for the
That's crazy.
Yeah,
but
that's
the-
why we don't use it all the time. We just tested and it was a huge eye opener, because
really
oh my
good.
God, lots of people don't actually get
Tell
my
you
emails.
If it's
Yeah.
good,
So after we implemented it, like did all the spam cop and removed all the words that trigger junk mail, so it got really, really higher.
So more technical question. Which one of these providers sends out as your email address versus their proxy address?
Sandy, that's what we use.
That's the only one. All the
I
other
think
ones provide proxy.
Infusionsoft as well, but I haven't used Infusionsoft, to be honest, Paul.
the best way to check your IP is send an email and get the IP address, and then go to MX Tools, and find an area where it checks the IP, what's your score. So the maximum score is 100%, and and Amazon's probably like 95%, which is really good. So all it means that if you send 1,000 emails, 9,500, yeah, will get there. So all those other things, I checked it. They're like 80%, 85%.
So Sendy is by Amazon?
No. Sendy is just a platform
Okay.
you can install on your website. Amazon is the tool that they send emails. So you
link them together. Amazon, you're using Amazon
and
server.
When I open an Amazon account, make sure you open outside Indonesia, because I got some people who tried to get it and they will get blocked because they think you're a scammer. So get people to Amazon from United States, United Kingdom, so you look legit. Because a lot of people will just open an account and try to get email, and then they will spam like 1,000 emails.
Yeah, and Amazon, they're really serious about their reputation, so they would not allow spammers.
So, for example, I made one mistake and I sent one email 12 times, 15,000 to, like, we had a list of 15,000 people, and we got flagged, and I had to.
Got suspended, yeah.
Suspended. I have to provide evidence, and they were keen, and after a week they were like, they're very, very serious about that. So.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah.
Do you do any testing of your emails?
Not
See
at the
open
moment.
rates or click rates or-
No. We
Just wondering if you
should.
Yes, I do.
We
Well,
do?
You don't, I do.
Okay, so
Yeah, so basically.
good to know.
Especially with a subject line and a click-through rate. So if you change a subject line, just see what was the previous rate. It was like 25%, 50%. When you start, like the first 3 emails will be like 90, 80%, and after a while go to 50 or 40%, and then your goal is to try to keep it up to 20%, like on
Long
email
term, yeah.
50.
But it also depends
That's-
on the industry. If you're really specific and you don't have any like competitors, it could be way higher. Some people have 50% all the time. But in weight loss, it's really competitive. So like 3-5% is open rate is considered kind of average. So yes.
What's your advice if you're not very good at writing?
Get good at it. I mean, I wasn't good at writing at all, but I just knew I had to learn this in order to grow my business. So at first I kind of worked with an editor, so I would write all my stuff, my thoughts, and he would edit it like a native speaker, because also it's not my first language, so it was extra harder for me. So I would see and analyze what were my most common mistakes, and that's how I learned. And what's the most effective for me is actually reading nonfiction, and just kind of sometimes if there's a sentence that I really like, I would try to rewrite the sentence keeping the same structure, just my own content, and did these exercises, and that helps. And also there's a free writing course on Times Magazine, or New York Times. I can send you a link. There's like 8 lessons that are free, and they have really helped me. And then I also bought a book by that woman who does this course. So it's called Sin and Syntax, the book. Sin and Syntax. And it also helps you to become a better writer. So there's courses. You can do Andrew Chapron's course, because he's dyslexic. Andrew Chapron, who created this SOS, he's dyslexic, he can't write. And another advice is to write as you speak. And that's why I try to not to try to make it as fancy as possible, just be like real and write as you speak. So I'm sure you don't have problem speaking. So, or you can even record your speech and then transcribe it, or get someone else to transcribe it. Or another option is video. Maybe you're really great at video, so you could have shorter emails and provide a link to the video.
Or sign up for people you admire and then read their emails. And then a good practice is to take someone else's email and then just replace it, try to copy it. And the more you get good at copying, the more
Yeah.
you don't send those out, but you use that as a way to practice.
I was going to say the same thing. If you pick the writing that you respond to yourself, or that you think your audience would be, and it's like school, you just duplicate it over and over again, and you learn it by doing.
Yeah.
So you just kind of evolve the voice. So that's what we've done with our small team. It's just
Yeah.
kind of my husband started it alone, and me and the marketing girl just started copying a bunch of stuff he's written so that we could find that voice. because we didn't know how to write, but it helps the duplication.
Yeah, and just yeah.
Sorry, that really defining who you're talking to. So when you develop your ideal customer and you start tuning in with who they are and what type of words they use, what newsletters do they subscribe to, what podcasts do they listen to, you find what really resonates with them emotionally. So when you know what resonates with them emotionally, you're like, okay, I'm so-and-so, and what would I respond to in terms of writing? And you can determine if it's more professional or a little bit more casual, and it depends on the person. And I think that you can develop writing skills just by. I also find that when I'm writing, I want things to come up so quickly, but it takes like 15 to 30 minutes to like really have things start flowing. So giving yourself the time to open up and sit in a space that feels comfortable for you.
Yeah, that's really great advice, actually knowing who to write to. And you could have even in your mind a real person. I also always have my friend in my mind. So when I write, it's a great way to check in with myself. Maybe like, oh, if I wrote it, she would think like I'm really weird. So like, it just doesn't sound like me. I sound like a robot or like infomercial guy, like, do you feel that weight is like, I don't use this. I try to use casual language. So have your friend in mind who's the closest to your ideal customer avatar, and imagine that you're writing an email to her. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
If you have multiple like personas that are your customers,
Yeah.
you would set up multiple series for them that speaks in a different voice, but it could be the same copy. So if I had like, I don't know, I can't think of them all off the top of my head, but like the mommy bloggers that we're reaching out to, the whatever, like the different ones, would you set different ones with that different dialogue to it, or would you still have the main basic introductory series?
Probably just to keep it simple. If you could have multiple indoctrination series, but it could get a little bit complex and confusing. So I would still try to write your indoctrination series that it applies to everyone, probably, and then depending who you're sending it to, the landing page, the copy, or even that email sequence could be slightly different, because obviously we talk different to mommy bloggers and someone like fashion bloggers, so that would be different language and different pain points. So we talk about the family and the house and how it's convenience to go out with the children having this bag, or I don't know what the product is, whereas like fashion bloggers, obviously a lot different like motivation for them to buy the bag.
Well, so that as you get into it, then you start
Yes.
thinking a bit more.
Well, indoctrination series is more about your company in general, so it could be more generic. And I don't, yeah.
Some websites do, if you have a lot of content, they'll do the first email is actually what do you want to learn?
Yeah.
What do you want? They find a way to
choose your own
segment
story
people.
so you can get
Yeah,
your-
so choose your own
that's cool.
story. Yeah, so you're like, and it depends. That's specifically related more to people who sell informational products. But I think probably you just have to find a way to make it work to your market. You could definitely say, are you interested in A, B, or C?
Because we're kind of split, because we're kind of into like the blog adventure telling, artisan telling information, and then we're also selling.
Yeah, you could have on your
So you have that,
on your homepage, I've seen some people do it, like what best describes you? Are you a sole entrepreneur? Do you run a marketing agency? Do you do this? And then you click and that triggers different sequence. If it's really, really different, you could do it this way. Also, BuzzFeed, they're amazing at copywriting, and their titles are just something like it just makes you click. So they do a great job. Like you just tick what you're interested in, and then you get autoresponders based on that. So you could have a look at what they do.
And we tell them it's to serve them the best.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can send you what's more
We're
relevant.
trying to spam, yeah.
Or even you could have your indoctrination series that are general, but then in the last email or even in the first or second email, you would like just click here if you're a mom or if you're interested in business. I've seen some people do that, and you click, and then in the future you get also offers for the business. Yeah, although you subscribe to get health advice.
Right. Cool. Thank you.
More questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering with the articles that you write for the different blogs,
Yes.
do you refresh the articles before you submit, so you're not submitting the same article to different blog sites?
No, because they want
Fresh content.
fresh, authentic content. They would not take. Yeah, some websites would, but yeah, mostly. And another thing, if you have your own blog, or you could use also Medium.com, because in that way you don't have to have fresh content. You know Medium.com?
What's that?
it's like a platform where you just register and you can submit your blog, pictures, videos, whatever. It's really convenient to use. You kind of just drag and drop. It's very, very user friendly, and a lot of people, even like big bloggers, use it. So kind of duplicate your content, and because it already has like millions of people traffic, and if your article gets noticed, then it's also another way to get traffic.
What was that called again?
Medium.com.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't Google kind of punish double content?
Well, we don't use SEO. Like SEO is not the main strategy, because in weight loss it's really, really hard to even rank anywhere close to first 20 pages. So I don't worry about it that much, but yeah. And yeah, that's the reason why these blogs want just exclusive content, because they don't want to be punished, because that's their strategy, you know. SEO is very important. All right, so thank you very much, everyone.